Again, discontent, but we need hard workers here at the moment, so we'll sign that one too. And as you can see, the discontent's growing, but they'll be happy once we have enough food to keep everybody fed, believe me. What, 10 hours isn't enough? Well, in our circumstance, exactly, Francis, you kinda have to bear with the punches here, okay? We're trying to survive and not freeze to death. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Frostpunk. I'm your host, the Birdman Otis Falcon, and this right here is something I have been expecting for a while. I'm really hyped for this game. Mind you, just a bit of fair warning, as you can see down below, this is a work-in-progress demo. This is the build that was actually shown at PAX this year, and 11-Bit Studios was kind enough to send me a copy over here to show it off to you guys. Now, if 11-Bit Studios sounds familiar, it should. They're the team who developed This War of Mine, and they also published stuff like Beat Cop and Moonlighter, so they're honestly one of my favorite publishers slash developers out there because a lot of the stuff that they make and publish I really enjoy. And this right here is something that's really awesome, especially for a survival fan such as myself. Here, you're essentially in control of a small society trying to keep themselves alive during this ice apocalyptic thing that hit the world. And you're kind of like the last remnants of society here trying to keep yourself alive. Now, because this is a work-in-progress build, a lot of the features will be missing, the story will be missing, and as you can see down below, it only goes up to day number 10. So we're very limited over here, we can't save, so what I'm planning to do is probably cover this for 2 videos to give you guys an idea how it works out. So without further ado, let's get into the game over here. In the summer of 1886, the snowstorms began. Crops failed, people starved. Millions fled south, they only met chaos, famine, and death. In the farthest reaches of resource-rich north, the British Empire began construction of heat-bearing generators, where a chosen few could survive safe from the chaos of the crumbling civilization. They ran out of time. An apocalyptic ice storm came from the south, devouring all in its path. People fled in panic, some managed to cross the seas and reach the site of a generator only to find it frozen solid. The generator was designed to power a city capable to weather the end of the world. It falls to us to build it. Oh man. And the game looks amazing too. It's a very difficult game. There's really not much in terms of tutorials, so I already took it out for a spin. I kind of know what I'm doing. Fight the cold. We need to get the generator working. It provides heat and power to other buildings. Without it, we freeze to death. Stockpile some coal and start the generator. So first and foremost, I'm going to go ahead and pause the game because otherwise we'll be freezing if I'm over here trying to explain stuff to us. So the first thing we have to do is power up this generator. We need at least 200 coal to do that and activate this bad boy right here. So the first thing we have to do right now is look for some coal. We would find like woods and stuff like that, which we'll be able to cut down for some wood down the line to build other structures. But in order to do that, we have to build, you know, like sawmills and stuff like that, right? So the first thing we have to do is look for some coal. Here we did find some coal. There's at least 500 over here. And we have to assign workers, and then we also have engineers. The engineers are more situated for, I guess, like smarter jobs like laboratory work and stuff like that, but you can actually use them for collecting as well if you need them. You're also going to use children as well. There's going to be children in the game because 11-Bit Studios isn't really shy about that aspect as well, so that's going to be pretty cool as well. Here we have some coal as well, and probably more coal up there. I'm trying to look for something that's not too far from us, but it does seem that everything is kind of indeed far. We have some wooden crates, and wooden crates here too. So I think we're going to probably have to go over here. Luckily, there's 2 piles next to each other. I think that might be closer than these 2 over here. So let's start off by assigning people to this coal pile over here. We can assign up to 15 people, so we have 50 workers available. We'll go ahead and send all of them over there. And we'll also do the same for the next one over here. And obviously, if you're walking through the snow, you're going to be very slow. So what you can do is you can build some roads to travel faster. We do have 30 wood, so I'm going to come into construction, and I'll go into building a street. Now, we'll talk more about how this heats everything up around it, but these green circles indicate your streets. You cannot build buildings on top of streets, so you got to make sure that when you're building your streets, you're not building a building on top of it. Let's see, right now I'm gonna do a street. Since we have 2 of them over here, we could do something like this. And there you go. Okay, we have a street right there. And then any other free workers that aren't collecting coal will build that street. Meanwhile, the other people go off to collect coal. So with this done, we can go ahead and put this in real time and see how this works out over here. Now, we cannot work the entire day, obviously, because people need to get some rest. So we could work up to between 8 till 16 or something to that degree. Now, we could actually pass laws over here, which will make people work for longer periods of time, and this is where the good and bad aspect comes into play, I should say, where sometimes you gotta make decisions that makes people, like kids, work. It makes people work longer periods of day. If hope drops too low, bad news. I'm not sure what happens if you lose it completely, but we'll try to avoid that from happening. And discontent grows up too high. Again, it could also be bad. None of those have actually happened to me just yet, so I can't really give you an idea what happens, but obviously speaking, discontent high and low hope is a bad combination, so we gotta make sure that both of those don't drop too high or too low. So as you can see right now, the free people did actually build up the roads, so now they'll collect and travel a lot faster than they would just under snow alone. And let's see, we actually already have all the coal that we need. Perfect. So we're not gonna waste any time over here. Go to the generator and turn on steam level number 1. And if we hit this in real time, we can now see it slowly melting some of the snow away, which is awesome. So now everything in level 1, everything that we build around there will be actually warm. You could build buildings and infrastructures beyond level 1, but if you do that, it will not get warmed, so the people there could risk frostbite and stuff like that. The generator hums with a reassuring warmth, but we should not take it for granted. If the generator goes down, the city dies. Be mindful of coal reserves. Now food. There is no city if we starve to death. Secure a way to provide raw food and build a cookhouse to prepare meals. So, we have 19 wood, 282 coal, which is about 2 days worth of the generator being up and running. So we have to continue constantly to collect that. We can't just stop now. Let's see about getting the food situation under control. So we have to, let's see, let me pause momentarily. Build a cookhouse and ensure raw food can be collected with a hunter's hut or a hothouse. So let's start off over here. Let's go to food. And unfortunately, none of those are available right now. Why is that? Oh, we don't have enough wood for that. Oh, because we built the roads. Oh, that's a problem. That's a problem. So let's send some other free people over to the wooden crates, which is luckily not too far from me. We're going to collect 120 here. Let's send 15 individuals over here. I won't build any roads for that one just yet, because it's not too far. Oh, and there it is. That's the end of the day. You see that rest time? So now people will not work anymore. So unfortunately for us, we won't have any food for the first day, which is going to be kind of bad. And we also have a possibility of a law being passed right now. No roof over our heads. Captain, a few people are concerned about the lack of shelter. Sleep in the ground raises the risk of falling ill. Frostbite and stuff like that. Sure, let's set up some tents, or I am not one for half measures. So the problem here is now we have a chance to pass a law. If you say I'm going to put up some tents, you are now binded to putting up those tents in a certain amount of days. If you don't do it in that time, your hope would drop drastically, and other bad things also happen as well. As you can see, we need 2 days to put those tents up and running. Let's go for it, because I don't want my people getting sick anyway. So let's pass it to say yes. That should raise hope a little bit and keep discontent pretty low for the meantime. Unfortunately for us, it's rest time, and once we're ready to work again, we'll get back to it. I don't think we're going to be building any roads over here. As I mentioned, we're going to hold off on that, but I do want them to collect coal, and we just kind of have to wait it out here for a bit. I believe at 6 or 8, we have our first person sick. Again, we have no tents, and that's going to make them get sick here. And we should be going into work here pretty soon. Come on. Come on. Should be at 8. Alright, there they go. So where's my other collectors over here for the wooden crates? Perfect. So with this, we have to make the wooden house, or the tents I should say, and also the way for us to make some food for them. So you'll collect here meanwhile. As soon as that's back, we have 25 wood now. That should be enough for something to be built. So let's go back to construction. Here we go. Let's start off with the... We have 20 food. We have to cook it first, alright? So let's make the cookhouse here. And I'll probably place that bad boy right on this side. And we won't be able to build the hunter's hut, which requires 20 more wood, so we have to wait for a bit more to come in. Now, the other free people back in the, I guess, quote-unquote city generator will build that, which they now have built that, and now they're going to start cooking that at some point. We have to come over here, though, and assign some cooks. For now, I will do 5 engineers, because I'm going to keep some available workers. We have another law. Hard rigor. Sir, the situation gets tougher from day to day, and we're already short on resources. Maybe we need a law that lets us extend the working hours. I believe I already did that, honestly. But here we have the hard work rigor. You can extend the work days in any facility to 14 hours, so again, discontent, but we need hard workers here at the moment, so we'll sign that one too. And as you can see, the discontent's growing, but they'll be happy once we have enough food to keep everybody fed, believe me. What, 10 hours isn't enough? Well, in our circumstance, exactly, Francis, you kinda have to bear with the punches here, okay? We're trying to survive and not freeze to death. So we now have enough wood for the other one, so let's go and build the hunter's hut. Meeting, planning, and restocking places for a band of hunters who venture outside the city to track their prey in the frozen wasteland. And they also bring 15 raw food per day, so as I mentioned, you could build from away from the area over here to keep them warm, but sometimes it's also not the best situation. But I will do that for maybe behind the hothouse, so we could probably place it over here and apparently still keep kind of warm. And then they'll run off and probably hunt somewhere over here, which is fine. Okay, so with that built, we now need to start focusing on the tents because we have 2 days to get that up and running, otherwise the discontent will once again drop and we'll also lose some hope. So they're working right now. Do we have enough people to build this over here? Yeah, it's being built. Less than an hour. And with all the wood extra being carried down here, we'll start making some of the tents too. With basic resources secured for now, we can try to rescue those that we left behind. Build a beacon, scout the Frostlands, and save as many survivors from our expedition as possible. You'll need a workshop to design plans for more advanced buildings. So there's also going to be other survivors out in the wasteland still alive, and we literally going to be sending a beacon up into the sky to scout it, and then we'll have to send people out there to bring them back, and you get the choice whether you want to do that or not, so that's another really cool aspect of the game. So meanwhile, let's slow it down here if we can. And let's see, we have to provide the shelter for 40 people at least. And then we have to build a workshop, build a beacon, and rescue the survivors. This is as far as I've gotten in the game, rescuing survivors, so I'm still familiar with this part. But beyond that part, I'm gonna be kind of lost here. Now we have 4 people who are sick, and we have 80 people that are homeless. We do have some wood, so can we build some tents here at the moment? We also have to get that resource, or at least that laboratory up and running, so we could learn some skills too. Which would not be a bad idea because some of the skills is faster gathering, which could be very helpful as well. Let's go over to Bunkhouse. This will be 20 wood and 10 steel, which is going to be all the steel that we do have. It'll give us 10 spots for sleeping, cramped, but protected from the weather. And this will be just for sleeping. So at least over here you are protected from the cold, while in the tents you are not. So at the moment we're going to have to bear with this one. We'll do 3 of them, which we can do. So we'll do something like bam, bam, and bam. So now we got to get only 1 more tent up and running, and we'll be able to get the provide shelter one complete. And here at nighttime, I believe they'll continue working, which is fine. We don't have enough wood. We're missing 1 piece of wood to get the last tent up and running, unfortunately. So that sucks here a little bit. But now we have 50 homeless only, with 4 sick. We need to get a hospital pretty up and running pretty soon, too. Okay, so now's gonna be rest time. Let's go ahead and speed it up. We have a lot of these events over here which you could click and read about, but I'm skipping them for the most part because I'm kind of familiar with this part for now. Now waiting for the next rest day over here. Now the next thing we have to do is, this is not gonna last forever. We have 158 more coal here, and we have 158 here. We also have 463 stocked up, so meaning what this means for us, we could probably pull a couple of people away from this for gathering of steel, which is the other thing we're going to probably need for the labs. So what I would do here is probably go down to like, I'll say 8 people for that one, and maybe even 8 over here. And now we have 19 workers available, and I'm going to use those guys to come over and collect some steel, which is going to be over here. I'll send at least 10 over here, and honestly, if we have enough wood, which we probably will have enough wood, we can make a road somewhere in the middle, so they could... I mean, this isn't really too far a walk, is it? Now, you know what? I'll skip that road. It doesn't seem like too far a walk for me, so that's fine. We'll set up the wooden crates and the steel, and let's see, anything else I want. I'm going to keep some free workers for building back home, so let's go back into real time over here, or speed it up, I should say, and see how this plays out. Come on, speed it up. And the moment we get enough wood, we'll build that next tent, and we'll be done with that. We're doing fine, all things considered. Oh, that's good. Discontent is dropping quite a bit, and the hope isn't looking too bad. So far, we're doing alright. So we have 21 wood. Let's go ahead and get the tent up and running, and we'll place that one over here. And that should get rid of the provide shelter thing that we agreed to. Next thing, we have to build a workshop and build the beacon as well. So if we go over here to tech, if I'm right, workshop requires 5 steel, 15 wood. So luckily we are going to start collecting some steel pretty soon, which we're going to need. So let's speed it up. There's my workers over here. And that should be enough. Shelter promise fulfilled. So hope grows and discontent falls now because we got that one done. Perfect. Slow it down. And we have 25 steel, which should be enough for us to start building our workshop. 15 and 5. We got enough for it. So the workshop, we could rotate as well in case you're wondering. Could zoom out, zoom in, and all that jazz. So we'll place that one over here, it does seem. So my free workers should be able to start working there, and then all the extra free engineers, I'll send them over there to start researching for us. So, and obviously what we need to do right now is to beacon so we could send people out to find survivors. However, I would like to get faster gathering first so we could collect stuff faster. This requires apparently 10 woods in 7 hours. So you know what? I think I'll do this one as opposed to the survivor one. Oh, it's not letting me do it? Well, let me assign the engineers here first. There it is. Oh, I see. For some reason, unless the engineers were assigned, you couldn't open it up. So, okay, so now it's opened up. Faster gathering is what we're going to focus on. And then afterwards, we'll do the beacon. So we'll do faster gathering first. We have 5 engineers over here available. The next thing we have to start focusing on, I would say, is... Oh my god, our food situation is pretty bad. Let me drop the engineers out of here and put the workers, and then... Oh, Falcon, you never assigned the freaking hunters, you dingus. Ooh, that's bad. Okay, that's on me. Let's go ahead and assign the hunters for this. Unfortunately, they will not be hunting tonight because it's gonna be rest time here pretty soon, so at least that's now under control. A bit of an undersight on my part, but as I mentioned, things like this kind of need to happen, especially because I'm not really too comfortable with the game just yet. But it's all things you have to kind of micromanage with this survival game, which is really, really cool. Here we have another one. Facing starvation that's on me. That's basically my fault. Captain, a few people are concerned about the hunger. I'll have to feed everyone in 5 days, so let's go ahead and accept that one because I know now that we have hunters and we have people in the cookhouse, so this should be done in 5 days easily. So let's say that yes, we will feed all 17 hungry people soon. It's gonna be a while, but we'll definitely be able to do it. And then my food gathering is at 26%. So, oh my god, look at the hungry going up so badly. Oh Jesus. Oh god, that's on me. That's totally my fault. So we have depleted the wooden crates over here, so I move my other people over here. We have 8 people in the coal, 8 people here, 10 for the steel, 10 for the crates over here, and a couple of hunters and workhouse dudes for the hothouse itself. So, now the people should be out there hunting, I'm pretty sure, because we have the hunters here set up. Yeah, we have all 10 available. They should be out there doing their thing. We have built the workshop. We're at 26%. Are you guys still working on this over here? Waiting for the workers. Engineers, get to work, man. Need to get that up and running pretty soon. There it is. It's going up again. And that'll increase our gathering capacity, so I think it'll help us out with the hunting as well. We could also overdrive the generator to make it go hotter, but there's a chance of it blowing up or taking some damage, so I don't think it's too important at the moment. I usually skip that, but eventually down the line it'll kind of be important. We also have 4 gravely ill individuals. We have no hospital. Can we pull that off at the moment? Let's see if we go over to health. We have a medical post, requires 25 wood. I see no reason not to do this because I'm sure eventually it'll stop bothering me for it. So let's get that up and running here. We have 9 people working on that meanwhile. I just hope the food comes into play. And we have... First gravely ill. Sir, one of our people fell gravely ill. If you sign the radical treatment law, the gravely ill will be treated in medical posts, but this treatment may leave them crippled. Alternatively, you could sign the sustained life law to keep the gravely ill alive until we build an infirmary to treat them properly. So this is one of those situations where radical treatment or not. Now, we are trying to build a medical facility pretty soon, so I will do sustained life. If you're sick, I will try to heal you after a while. The radical treatment will indeed help for now, but it could leave them crippled, which will increase discontent quite a bit. So I'll do sustained life for now, and as long as we get that medical facility up and running, I think we should be okay for now. And we're about to finish up faster gathering too, and we should have some food coming in. The coal pile has been depleted, so we can now collect coal, steel, and wood faster as well. Perfect. I mean, the coal pile up there has been depleted. So now with that done, we have 580. I think we need more wood. So let's see. We can't bring these down because we need a proper sawmill for that. Over here we have more steel. Over here we have more wooden crates. So technically speaking, how much is over here left over? 21. So that's almost done too. But there's also wooden crates here. I was thinking we could do a road over here and take care of both of those at once. And then we have that one over here too, huh? Well, because we have a road here already, what I could do is probably go into building a road. And let's see, we could do a road from here to here, roughly. And then to walk over to pick that up. I think that's fine. I don't want to build too close in here because we're going to be expanding outwards, right? So if there's streets over here in the middle, it could impede my period of growing outwards. So that's the reason why I'm trying to avoid that. So that should be fine. We're at negative 40 degrees here at the moment. Degrees Celsius, I'm not even sure which one that is. Negative 40 sounds pretty terrible though, man. No matter what it is. Okay. So that'll get done at some point. Yeah, I know, we have gravely ill people. Let's set up the engineers here if we can. We have 5 available. So now we have people, hopefully now, treating our gravely ill. What's the problem here? Frostbite. Sir, one of our people became gravely ill due to frostbite. It was inevitable. I know, believe me, we got it. We got the medical outpost though, man. I hope that's enough to cure it. I hope. And we have food coming in now, I hope, pretty soon, because our people are starving, and I decided to feed 17 within 5 days. Okay. Let's stop it here for now. You guys are collecting wood over there, which is perfectly fine. We're going to wrap it up here for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll come back next episode and continue going forward. As I mentioned, there's only 10 days available, so we might go up to day number 10. But again, there's no saving, there's no more game beyond that point, so stick around for the next video, and I'll try to have that up pretty soon. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Really fun game, just very difficult and very awesome, though. I will catch you soon.